Hi everyone, we are covering object-oriented programming part in Python. In this video, we are going to see method overloading and method overriding in Python. First of all, we will see what is method overloading, how we can overload a method, does Python support method overloading or not, and after that we are going to see what is method overriding, how we can override a method inside a class. So without any further delay, let's get into this. As you can see guys, I am in a PyCharm and let me write a lecture 22. Guys, first of all, let's see what is method overloading. Let me write a method overloading. Guys, first of all, what is method overloading? It is a compile time polymorphism. We can say that when two or more methods having a same name but they are changes in a parameter. Let me write here, having a same name but different parameter. Different parameter means we can have a same number of parameter but different in data types, or we can have different number of parameters. I'm going to give you an example. Let's see here. I'm going to say define. We are going to say function. I give a name of function fun, and after that I'm going to pass here two parameters, right? And after that what I'm going to do, I'm going to print that. Alright, so I have defined a function and I have print the value which I took by a parameter. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to define again function with the same name, and I'm going to pass here three parameters, 1, 2 and 3. I pass with the a, b, c, and after that what I'm going to do, I'm going to print the value of these three parameters a, b and c. Alright, so we have defined a function with a fun name and I have passed two parameters in that. I have defined again the function with the same name fun and I have passed three parameters in that. So basically this is called a method overloading. And also we can say again one type of method overloading. We can say define function. A is going to take an integer and b is going to take a float. And one parameter, let me write here first of all print a and b. And after that I'm going to define same function with the two parameters, but this time a is going to take string and b is going to take a integer. Alright, let me print this also, print a and b. So guys, I have defined these two parameters. They are having the same number of parameters, but the data type of the parameter changes. You can see a is integer first time and b is float, and in second time a is string and b is integer. So this is one kind of method overloading. Let me comment this. And one type of method overloading is this: we have first time two parameters and second time three parameters, but the function is same. So this is all about method overloading. Now let's see whether this Python support method overloading or not. So I am not going to take this example. I'm going to delete that. And guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this function. I'm going to call function with the two parameter first. So I'm going to write 2 and 4. So guys, what I have done, I have called the function with the two argument. Actually I want to call this function, so I pass two parameter only. Now if I run this code, let's see what we get. We get output or we get an error. So let me run this. You guys can see that I got an error, type error. Function is having a 3 argument, but you have passed 1, means missing one required positional argument. So basically we can say that Python does not support method overloading. Here in Python it is only having this function with the 3 parameter. It forgot what we have declared earlier. So we can say that Python, when we redeclare a function with the same name, so Python what it do, it delete the earlier function, it keep that function new function in their memory. So right now Python has this function. It don't know about what function earlier we have defined. When we redefine with the name, so Python is going to have that function. So inside the memory, Python know only this function. So if I pass one more value, let's say 5, then it's going to print this value. You guys can see that 2, 4 and 5. And one more thing guys, if I call a function with two arguments before this function, fun 6, 5, then it's going to work fine. Let me comment this. You guys can see that because this is our actual function. We have passed this argument, two argument, because right now we have only this function in our memory. But when we execute this 12 line, then function actually deleted this function and it redefined that function. So basically what I all want to tell you that Python does not support method overloading, and we can say that we can override a method in a different way in new logic, but if we want to override this kind of way, then it's not going to be support, it's going to give an error. So I hope you understood what is method overloading and how we can overload, but we can overload this kind of thing in C, C++, Java, but not in a Python. So, but how we can overload if we want to overload a method? So we are going to do, what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this one and I'm going to pass here default value of C. I'm going to say C is going to be a none, and let me delete this line. Now if I call with the 2 argument or 3 argument, it's going to be work. So if I just do of 2 comma 4, then you can see that what I got. I got 2, 4 and none. And if I don't want to get none also, I can say that if C is equal to none, then print A comma B, else print A comma B comma C. So if I run this code, you guys can see that I got 2 comma 4, and if I run with 3 arguments, let's say 2, 4, 7, and if I run this code now, you guys can see that it working fine for 3 as well. So this is the actual way we can use the overloading, and also we can use overloading in a different logic, but officially we can't use an overloading in a Python. So I hope now you understood that. If you have any kind of doubt, you can write in the comment section. I'm always there to help you. So now guys, let's see what is method overriding. So I'm going to comment this thing, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to write here method overriding. So guys, what is method overriding? Guys, we can see that it is a runtime polymorphism, and it can be happen only in a class, right, with the help of inheritance. And if you don't know what is inheritance, you can watch my videos. I have explained everything about inheritance, all the 5 types of inheritance also. You can watch that video. But for now, we are going to use the inheritance, and we are going to see how we can override a method. So I'm going to create a class with the name A, class A, and this is going to have one method. So let's say define func, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to print here something. So I'm going to say print this is a method of A class, right? And I'm going to create another class B, and this is also going to have one method fun. Remember guys, I'm going to give a same name function fun. So this is also going to have a same name function, and what I'm going to pass here, I'm going to print this is a method of B class. Alright guys, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to inherit this B class with the A class. So I can inherit by passing a inside of this bracket. So as soon as I write this, B is inherited with this A class, and B can access all the method present in this class. Alright guys, so we have already seen this in polymorphism. So basically that only I'm going to repeat in this video also. What I'm going to do, I'm going to comment first of all this, and I'm going to write here another function define fun2. Alright, and here I'm going to print some value. This is a fun2 method. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an object of B class. I created B obj, and let me do this. So I have created an object of B class, and I'm going to call a function of fun. So I'm going to say B obj dot fun. So once I have done this, so it's going to call this method. So let me run that. So you can see that this is a method of A class. Alright, but I don't want that function to be executed. I have own function, my function. Let me write here define fun. I'm going to uncomment this. So I'm going to have this function, and I want to get this data when I call this method. So whenever you are inherited the class, you are going to have all the methods of that class, right? So basically B class have this method, but I don't want that in that method this line should be executed. Instead of that, this line should be executed. So I can redefine that method, and basically when I'm redefining that method, so it's going to be override the method. So basically let me now this time I'm going to call this function, and if I run this code, you guys can see that this is a method of the class. Actually now this fun method is overridden. So whenever we inherited the class, we have all the function of a class, but when we redeclare the function which are present already in its parent class, that means we have overridden that particular method. So if I having another function in this A class, let's say define call, and in that function I'm going to write call method, and if I execute in my object, let me comment this, and B obj dot call. And guys, if I run this code, I am having a call method. But now I am going to say you that in B object we don't have call method, and if we want to have call method, but that should be different from this parent call method. I want to have a call method in this B class also, but I don't want this statement in that method. So I can redefine that method in our child class, or we can say drive class, and I can write as anything whatever I want in that method, and that will be actually overridden. So basically what all I want to tell you, if I redefine again this method here, define call, so that means I am going to override this method. I am going to override this method. And let's say I am writing another concept here, call method in B class. And if I run again this code, you guys can see that I have overridden the method. Now it's printing call method in the class. So method overriding means whenever we are changing the method of our parent class, and method overloading means whenever we are having a same name of method but they are having a different number of arguments or different type of argument. So I hope now you understood what I all want to tell you in this video. We have seen what is method overloading, and Python does not support method overloading, but we can overload a method by using our own logic. And method overriding means we have override methods in a class with the help of inheritance. So if you still have any kind of doubt in this video, you can write in the comment section. I'm always there to help you. So that's all in this video, guys. If you like this video, give a thumbs up to this video and subscribe my channel. Meet you in the next video. Thank you.